All right. Welcome back, everyone. We are on our first solo session. This is episode 3, technically, and it will be a solo session with just Don playing Stone. So, Don, just give us a short recap of what happened last time to the best of your memory.
Oh, God, that's going to be... been a hot minute, y'all. The last session was the first session after we had gotten back from our break, right?
Correct, yes.
Yes. Okay. So, we had all just gained a fragment of Isho's soul.
Mm-hmm.
It's just astounding. But we were all a little bit depressed about it.
Sure.
Anyway. So we were trying to figure out what we were going to do next, and sort of coming to grips with this like weird new facet of ourselves. We kind of basically came up with like there were a couple of different ways that we could go. We could go to Arcadia to try and just learn more about what the heck was going on. There's a bunch of libraries and scholars there. Might be the way to go to find out more about what's happening. Anastas was actually like at Gareth for that session, as I recall.
He was, yes.
Like actually went to Gareth and talked to the Skella bishops and
the Skella bishops, yes.
Well, we haven't met the Skella Pope yet, but just the Skella bishop. To see what they were up to, and they were like, "Hey, yo, we got someone for you to go like take care of in Arcadia." And he's like, "Cool. I don't really know if I'm down with your church anymore, but like, fine, I'll go along with this for now." Or we could continue on with the prince to go to what's the forest's name?
Would you like to see the map?
I would love to see the map. That'd be great. Loading.
Oh, I suppose we don't need to be paused anymore. We're playing Vadakar Forest. The
Vadakar, yes.
prince
Vadakar,
believes that by heading to Vadakar Forest, he can find the weapon needed to slay a god on his mission to go kill Banat, the curse bringer.
Yep, kill Banat. Right. So those, I think, were sort of like the 3 primary areas that we could go. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, Anastas was in Gareth doing that. Stone was basically just ruminating and making a bow out of the tree that he had stolen, or the totem, I guess, that he had stolen from those human cultists. Dorian was in a coma, literally on fire. And oh man, why is this happening to me? What's Carlucci's character's name? Alexander. Why? I don't know why Alexander was the name that I had problems with there.
Probably the most normcore name. So.
And Alexander was mostly just spending time with the prince, it seemed like, and kind of like sharpening his skills. So over the course of all of this, Stone decides that he's going to sing the new song of Isho to try to get some guidance on where we should go. And the vision that he gets in no way relates to anything, at least as far as he knows and I know, that relates to anything that has to do with any of the paths that we have available to us right now.
Sure.
He also gains a shitload of corruption.
Doing so, yes.
Yeah.
We don't actually need to do a huge recap of what happened to the other guys. Interestingly, we had probably a 20-minute long recap last session. I don't know if you watched it, and they went incredibly in detail.
I'm sure they did. That doesn't shock me in the least.
Yes. So, gained quite a bit of corruption. Saw a vision. And what was that vision?
So the vision was... Oh, here, I need to... Actually, that's a good reminder. I gotta get my notes. So Gonna hear some click clacking of some very crisp keys here in just a moment. Where are my?
That's a good point. Where is my notes page?
Every once in a while, by the way, your audio kind of gets quieter for me, and then it'll pop back.
I like go over here. I'm guessing.
Oh.
Is it quiet right now?
Yeah.
I gotta stay by the mic.
Stay by the mic.
Stay by the mic. Talk to the mic. Make out a little.
Yep. So then, all right. Dorian woke up, etc., etc. Okay. So Stone's vision was a vision of a waystone, which are stones that are just kind of scattered along a lot of the byways of this region, at least, and probably of Aelec Island as a whole. The idea being that they are a shrine to the forgotten Ioka, or the nameless Ioka, right?
Who is also forgotten.
Who's also forgotten,
that's
right?
Part of it.
By dint of being nameless. Yes. And saw one of those, and saw a golden light shining out from that waystone towards Amaran Bay. Mm-hmm. And that was the whole vision. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we ended. So I think the end result was we decided that we all wanted to go to Arcadia Vale. We all had reasons to go there. There was some stuff in that session that we're just going to brush over, but like you said, there's already been a recap. So, and that's the last thing that I know about any. I have not listened to the next session. I have no idea what they got up to. I don't know why Stone is separated from the group. I know nothing. I know nothing.
So, I guess I will say that just at the beginning of the session, I said that, Stone says he's got some things to take care of, and he goes to take care of those things.
I don't like how Anastas wasn't even with us at the beginning of last session. He was in Gareth.
Right.
That makes sense.
So we are going to begin. We had a little bit of a rules discussion at the beginning of last session also. Okay. And we basically Peach had completely missed that we had that rules discussion in Discord. So it's completely unaware of everything that was happening.
The optional rules.
Right. Yeah. But we're pretty much locked into we are going to do crit hits and crit failures with a confirm.
Okay, so we did decide to do that. Okay.
And literally we got like 4 crit fails last session.
Oh, great! Well, hey, I'm glad that we have the confirms.
So, yeah, we're doing that. We are going to do all the maneuvers and all of the ones that I said that we were certainly going to do that are just sort of like the I don't know why they weren't just included in the game because they just clarify how some things work.
Well, I'm gonna get my APG pulled up then too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Let's go to Ernon's Vale, which is where we are right now. And this sounds good. Nope, that's too dark. Let's go ambient. Landscapes, sure, fine. All right. Waystones, it is said, are the oldest relics in Aelec Island, predating the Lokai Empire by several thousands of years. They were created by the Nameless himself at the very beginning of time, after the destruction of the last world. Until now, though, you had never given them much thought. Staring at the drab, grey stone, barely half your height, unadorned but for the conspicuously bored hole near its top, like the head of a great needle buried into the earth, you notice how old this monument truly is. All of its edges are worn and smoothed by time. Where once there may have been an inscription is now a marred, illegible patch of rough on the thing's face. It is just simply ancient, its purpose and use lost to time, along with the memory of its creator, the unknown Aoka. What was Isho trying to show you, you wonder? What path does this beacon reveal? Stone, you are sitting in front of this beacon, this shrine to the nameless Aoka, which is just outside of Ernan's Vale. In fact, you passed this on your way into Ernan's Vale the first time you came here. I don't know if you recall that. You are here alone, and have left the party knowing that you needed to at least investigate this a little bit and that you would follow along afterwards.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
So, what is this waystone the exact waystone that I saw in my vision, or was that waystone a different one?
That was a different waystone, because from that waystone you could see the Amaran
The
Bay, and
CMRN Bay.
here you
Right.
cannot. You're too
Certainly
deep into
cannot.
the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe on a clear day far in the distance, but not right now.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess my okay, so there's a lot going on in Stone's head right now. So first things, I mean, obviously this is the most kind of pressing one to him right now, is trying to figure out what this vision meant. But he's also kind of started to ruminate on like how his use of songs, like song magic, relates to, and really magic in general, how that relates to corruption and why the
Oh,
two are interlinked.
okay, sure.
Because I mean, he got maxed out on corruption. Like he ended up with, a not a permanent but a temporary stigmata, as they call them.
What
Uh,
does Stone believe about the relationship between corruption and magic? What was he taught?
it's a really good question. Because of his upbringing and because of his relationship specifically with the Humbaran Church,
Mm-hmm.
probably something to do with probably something to do with how the corruption is a blight over um, well, the Humbaran Church was a primarily human establishment. So from
Correct.
their teaching, it was probably something to do with like those who truck with Isho as sort of a defender of humanity are thus also then influenced by the corruption, right?
Yeah,
Because it's
this is a
against
pretty
humans.
interesting convergence because, yeah, the Hambaran Church teaches corruption as the curse of Banat.
Yeah,
That it's
exactly.
specifically a curse against humanity, but that it occasionally affects Aoka. The Songkeepers have a little bit of a different view, and to them, they view corruption as a consequence of invoking the Aoka, whose greatness is too much for a mortal vessel to contain.
I
So
see.
it's sort
That
of
makes
like if there's too much power going on, that's when the corruption affects you. But obviously, that does not align with your experience of how humans experience corruption. Um,
right
the
because the
Song of
information
Banat
there.
tells of his reluctant crafting of the corruption to protect Eokylan from the humans, um, as well, though. So yeah,
Basically,
you're in an
bas-
interesting space.
yeah, basically it's all very mixed up. He doesn't really understand what's going on. So there's also a part of him that wants to use this vision as a way to gain some distance from the rest of the group, to just let him think about it or try to seek someone out who he might be able to talk to about it,
Yeah, right.
in addition to then trying to figure out what the meaning of the vision is. Because yeah, he's like, to put it in a certain way, he's shook right now. Like there's been a lot going on over the past couple of weeks, and this is just sort of like another thing to add on top of that. Like he didn't expect to end up with a fragment of Isho's soul. He didn't expect that. He didn't expect the vision to just completely send him off in a random direction, and he most certainly did not expect to grapple with the connection between magic in general and corruption.
Right.
So he's got a lot going through his mind right now.
After a few minutes of observing this beacon, this shrine, contemplating this connection between corruption and the vision that you received, and trying to determine what exactly it means, I guess I also do. I'm very curious where Stone's headspace is in regards to what does he think Isha was trying to show him? What are the possibilities that are going through his mind?
I think the primary possibility that's going through his head right now is that, I mean, a waystone is, at least in Stone's mind, is a marker along the path to somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Like it is a path that it's serving as a mile marker or some kind of indication of something, right? And the fact that the marker seemed to be pointing him in a direction seems to be like a pretty, like that connection makes sense to him, right? Like the mile marker is showing him where he needs to go.
Right.
And I think that he's probably going to just follow through on that. That being said, it's kind of a long journey and in the opposite direction of where the rest of the group is headed at this point.
Yeah, right,
So it's going to be a little bit of a commitment. But I think he probably is going to follow that. Because at his core, and especially with the events of the past couple of weeks, he still sees himself as a servant of Isho. He sees the humans having gained a portion of Isho's soul, totally leaving himself and Anastas out of the picture for the moment. Sees that as sort of the completion of a duty that he had set out to do once he had been kind of given that directive from Isho and from Oliveira. So he sort of sees himself a little bit more as a free agent now. He still cares about the group. He still plans to rejoin them. But if there's something else going on that he is being directed towards, I think he's going to seize on that opportunity and follow through.
Sure.
So I think he's headed for Amaran Bay.
You are interrupted in your contemplation by the sounds of footsteps coming off the snow-covered path from Ernon's Vale. And from the trees emerge the three remaining silent monks. They're down to two Indara, one of which is the speaker, one of which is a much younger Indara, and their Yora companion. They see you, and they nod. The two that have remained silent kneel down and begin praying at the way shrine, as one would if one were to be praying to the nameless. It is as if they are praying to the lost souls, which are in the nameless's purview. You notice that they are incredibly gaunt, that they are weak. You know that they had been fasting, even to the point of starvation, but they are looking much weaker than the last time that you had seen them.
Which would have been during the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'll observe them until specifically the speaker is no longer kind of following through on like a prayer to the unnamed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll approach them and just kind of say like, and it seems we are all leaving at the same time.
The speaker looks sad And he furrows his brow. We are not leaving quite yet. I do not know even where we would go should we do so.
Then why come here?
The speaker looks at the waystone. The waystones are the final road to guide those lost souls. I thought maybe, perhaps, that Isho's soul would be following that road, and that he would give us some message, some sign. But there remains only silence. You can see, like, tears are welling in his eyes.
I find myself in a similar situation, though I feel as though I have received what it is you are seeking. It does not make sense to me. However, I feel I must follow it. I received a vision that I believe to be of Isho, showing me one of these waystones, and that waystone pointing me towards Amaran Bay. I do not know what it means. I do not understand why it would point me away from my companions, but it is where I feel I must go.
The speaker is a little aghast hearing this. I have been praying for guidance now for all of winter, and still no answers have come. How did you receive this?
Have we ever told the monks what happened? So they know nothing
They
about
know
what happened.
nothing about what happened. No.
Did we tell Earth that supports the mountain?
She, perhaps not explicitly, but she has put
Probably
two and two together, especially after taking care of Dorian.
Of Dorian, yeah. Right. So Stone doesn't necessarily know if this is the wisest idea, but he is going to fill in the pertinent gaps for these monks. He's going to tell them what we saw at the grave of Isho, what happened at the grave of Isho, and then he's going to tell them about the new song.
The other two monks exchange nervous, wary glances. The speaker, you can see his eyes have become intense, and he is holding onto your every word.
Shit. I didn't think about this. Okay. Yeah, let's follow it through.
You are saying that we need to go to the grave itself. That there Isho would speak to us and tell us what to do. We have wanted for many months to get there, but the forest is too dangerous.
I would tell you that there is more preparation that you would need. It is not. We have had to discover and utilize methods that I would not wish to be inflicted upon any other. You could do this if you felt that it was your path, but I would say that if you are seeking for something, that you might join me on my road. I feel that Isho is pointing I feel that Isho is pointing me in a direction, and I can't help but think that perhaps that message might be meaningful for other members of their flock. I do not know this for sure. I do not know what we venture towards. But I do know that as I stand now, and as you have stood since the death of Isho, I feel very alone, and I would be glad of company on this road.
The speaker thinks for a moment. We will follow you on this road, if you believe it to be the will of Isho. And we are glad to count you among our number. But before we leave the Vale, we must see the grave itself.
And I will take you there.
Thank you. The forest is perilous, but I believe that with your guidance, that we should be able to do so. We wish to leave first thing in the morning, if you can spare the time.
I am yours.
Then there are many preparations to be made. We shall go and pray and find some small amount of food. I'm sure that we'll need it for the journey ahead. Thank you,
Indeed.
Stone.
Thank you.
And with that, the speaker and the two monks head down the path back towards Ernon's Vale and the monastery that is tended by Earth. That conversation did not go exactly the way that I was thinking it would, but I'm glad it's a good direction. Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess then Stone will, after kind of like a parting glance at the way Stone is going to then also head back into the Vale. My thought is that he would probably speak to Earth to see if there is any, basically to see if she can feed these monks so that they're not setting out onto a journey like half starving.
Sure.
And then obviously offering to assist her with any any preparation or any gathering or anything that needs doing in order to fulfill that request.
Right. You find Earth tending to tending to the tree that you had first seen her. She gives you a quizzical glance as you approach. Stone, I thought that you had left.
I had planned to, but circumstances have changed slightly. I would ask that you bear my presence another day at least, and a further request. I would ask that you, if you have provisions to spare, that you would assist in outfitting myself and the remaining monks of Isho for a long journey. I would not ask this were it not in my estimation of the utmost importance. And of course, I will give you anything I can in payment, whether it be hard currency or work or
Stone,
anything.
your assistance these past months has been more than sufficient. I am here to serve. But those monks are in no condition for any long journeys. I have been trying to feed them for the past months, and they will not accept it. They are, each of them, on the verge of death, and one meal is not going to fix that. They are hopeless. They are purposeless, and it is consuming them.
I will take them to the grave of Isho. This seems to be their greatest desire.
I have tended the Golar Forest for a very long time. There are more spirits and hazards there now than there have ever been, and I can only assume it is Isho's presence that is causing this. And in the months since you have gone, it has only become more dangerous. I cannot advise that you do this. Tell them something, Stone. Give them hope, but don't take them there.
I feel then that I have only one choice. And I am afraid of that choice. I can give them what they need. But there is great risk.
Of what risk do you speak?
I have come into knowledge of a new song of Isho. That song, it seems, will grant a vision of past, present, or future based on the request of the one singing. I have already used this song once, which has led me to the path that I am on now. And I could do so again for these monks. However, the first singing has taken its toll upon me, and were this song to exact the same toll, I do not know if I would survive as I am now. And I know that it's meant to just be temporary, but he's got like arm bindings on one of his arms, and he will slowly unroll that and show the cluster of eyes that has appeared on his forearm.
She looks down at your arm with concern and a little bit of awe. Stone, you have been chosen in a way that very few have ever been. I do not know what it is that you should do. I can only warn that the forest is perilous now, but perhaps that is your path. Perhaps also, perhaps you can give them what they seek without succumbing yourself to further corruption. I do not know. If you are intent upon this path, however, there is something that you will need. And she goes into her yurt nearby and emerges with a bundle wrapped in cloth. She hands it to you. It is a long it's a long bundle. Probably this is intended for an Indara, so probably like 8 feet long. It is said that these were originally used not as weapons against spirits, but to guide and shepherd them. Not to destroy, but to lead. This was a gift from my mentor, and it is one of the last of its kind. So I would appreciate it if you would return it in one piece. And she unwraps the bundle to reveal an ancient knotted Golar staff with with a knobby end on one side, and it's, like I said, about 8 feet long. And when you grab it, it fits perfectly into your two hands.
I do not think that I can accept this.
Think not of it as a gift, but as that you are borrowing it. If for only this journey into the Golar forest, there are many spirits there now. You will not be able to guide these monks effectively through the forest without some way of warding them off.
Okay, I need to discuss some things with you really quick. Okay.
Sure.
So there's a couple of different things that I'm thinking right now.
Yeah.
I can take this Golar staff,
Mm-hmm.
get the monks,
Mm-hmm.
go to the Grave of V show, hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen there? Who knows? I could leave the Golar staff, ditch the monks, and be on my merry way. And hopefully they'll stay here and not die. Or there is a third option. The one that I favor, which is to take the Golar staff. I just beat the shit out of my mouth. To take the Golar staff, not go to the Grave of V show. In the morning, tell the monks that I went by myself, that I received another vision, and that vision was that they need to recuperate their strength and that they should become basically the seeds of hope for the Cult of E show.
So you're going to lie to them.
I would have to lie to them, yes.
Lie to them.
Which is the big sticking point there.
You would not only have to lie to them to do that, you would have to invoke Isho in order to lie to them. You would have to you would have to it's heresy. What you would be doing would be heresy.
Yep, it sure would.
Specifically, like taking the message of Isho and using it for your own ends, completely against his will.
But we don't know what his will is. That's the core issue here. I don't want these guys to just, wither away and die. I don't think that they'll survive the journey to the Isho's grave. I don't. A Golar staff will help. I mean, that's like the most priceless thing that she could have possibly given me to help follow through on that path. But I don't think they're gonna make it. It like right now, there are 2 journeys they could go on, and I don't think that they'll survive either one. And I'm trying to find a way to put them on a different path, and I just don't know what I have to do that. Maybe it's glaringly obvious and I'm just being dumb, but I there needs to be hope for the Cult of show. That like that word has to be spread. Like there is something else going on. There is a plan. Like we are not as abandoned as we thought we were. People need to know that.
Sure.
I'm just gonna have to take him to the grave. I think I'm just gonna have to. As much as I want to try to spare them that, you're right. Stone's not gonna lie. Stone's not gonna commit heresy. Not right now, anyway.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to go with that. I think he's gonna try to take him to the grave, and then hopefully he'll be able to make them see reason.
Okay. Sounds good.
That was a lot.
So
have we even started on what you thought this session was going to be yet, by chance?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I was like, I don't know if I'm dragging us down a totally random direction.
No,
okay.
no, not at all.
Excellent.
I guess we can talk about it later. Once you've seen how things play out.
Okay, let's do it.
So you gather the next morning in the little cluster of yurts that is this monastery. The monks have gathered their quarterstaff and meager belongings and look ready to follow you into the woods.
I'm going to have the Golar staff still wrapped.
Got it. Very good.
I don't necessarily want them to just immediately key on that fact. We're gonna save it until we need it.
Apprising the monks a little more closely, as I said, the speaker has a fire in his eyes that you've not yet seen, intent that this must be their path. The young Endara looks more nervous. He is glancing furtively into the woods, not sure. And above all, yeah, I would say uncertain. The old Yora, you can see, is also much older than the other two. Obviously, sure, because it is a Yora who naturally just lived much longer than the very short-lived Endara. But this Yora is very similar to the Yora that you had met in the monastery. Perhaps not quite as ancient, but still an old man. His eyes are
Yeru, right?
Yes.
Sorry.
His eyes are mysterious to you. You are not sure what is going on inside his head. His face is plain and accepting as he looks into the dark, mist-filled forest. We are ready when you are, Stone.
Then let us go. And I will begin leading them into the forest towards the grave of Isho. One thing that I would like to try to do, if I might, while we are walking, at least, initially, is to try and get the younger Endara not necessarily aside, but sort of like either in front of or behind the other two, and basically like walk up to him and just say like, "Are you nervous?"
The monk nods.
Stone's going to say then, "I am too. But you know, as well as I do, that even in death, Isho is with us, and they will guide our steps." And as I'm saying that, I'm going to very slowly just peel back just a little bit of the wrapping on the Golar staff.
Monk's eyes go wide, seeing the Golar staff. He looks at you, still concerned, but nods.
And then we will proceed.
The morning mist grows thicker as you slowly make your way deeper into the dark wood. Vague figures seem to hover just beyond sight, obscured by the fog. And as you continue on, you hear a piercing shriek as a ghostly warrior appears through the clouds of mist, its form vague and uncertain. It sweeps a long spear through the air at you, gurgling, "Begone!" The spear swipes right past Stone's head. He kind of step to the side, and it lands in the ground next to you. And as you look out into the mist and the fog, you see that more of these figures are appearing. Some of them are clad in robes and wielding spears, like very similar to the robes that Earth wears, and that had been given to some of your party members. And then as you turn, you look behind you, and there are other forms clad in armor, many Indara, but with feathers and strange headwear and things. And in their hands are glistening like smoke coming from their hands. They wear sensors around their neck that also billow smoke. Can you give me, rather, do you know what is going on, who these two groups are?
My guess would be that they are monks of Ernan that have been killed either during the war that kind of saw the end of the Golar Grove, or just died over the course of time. And I think the other ones, did you say that they were the other ones all Yora, or were they just
It's a combination. Mostly you're seeing Indara.
Okay. I would guess then the other ones are, I was going to say that they were maybe like spirit folk, but if they're not Yora.
They're all okay. Actually, in that case, give me a cunning check.
Okay.
Do you have Lore Master by chance?
I don't. And my cunning is super low.
Okay.
Yeah, I failed by 7.
Okay. You are not sure what you are seeing here, although looking at them, you have heard tale of spirits who have not been able to pass on tide so much, and Golar has weird effects on things. These are probably lingering spirits, and they seem to be locked in combat with one another. Some of them are throwing bolts of magic. Others, the monks rather, who you believe to be the worshippers of Ernan, are in vain trying to protect the wood from this relentless onslaught of these Andaran sorcerers, and are unable to do so. But the bolts and the spears are exploding around you. And it seems that some of them have even turned their attention towards you. At least 3 of them are standing in front of you, and we are going to move you. Ooh, My question is, do we need a battle grid here? I'm gonna say that we're just gonna pull yourself out onto the Veil of Ernan. We'll just use this as a vague conception here. I don't think we need.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I have something that I want to try.
Okay.
That would not be combat oriented, but let's just see what happens.
We're first gonna see what their initiative is.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And then
yeah,
that'll determine kind of the order of things that happen here. Okay, so let's activate you for combat, Frost Lights, and then the monks.
So only the monks are targeting me right now? Targeting our group, not the sorcerers?
Right now, okay, so I guess that's a good question. There are 3 monks in front of you that are barring your passage. There are more sorcerers behind you that are moving up on you, and their bolts are kind of like exploding around you. You might have to deal with them if you would turn, but for now, there are just the 3 right in front of you. And
Gotcha.
They are going first. 2 of them rush up, converging on you. One of them rushes to the Yora, and oh Lord in heaven. Okay, so we're gonna learn all about this right now. So you're going to make a defense check. Accurate is 10, so it's not modified by anything. And you're gonna make 2 of those.
2 defenses. Okay.
2 defenses. Yep.
2. Wait. Oh right, yeah, because I just have my quick, right? Because I don't have. Yeah, I'm not wearing any armor. Oh, but plus D4 because I'm robust. Or no. God, I don't remember how to play this game.
It's all right.
All right, I'm rolling defense.
That's 1 failure.
Okay, and 2. Probably another failure.
No, success actually.
Hey, I'll take it.
So you are able to dodge outside of one of the spear attacks. However, one of them cuts straight through you. You feel a cold presence as it pushes in. Pain radiates out from your chest. You take 3 strength damage.
Strength damage. Okay.
Yes. This cuts straight through armor. Let me just pull up the rules as to how exactly this works. You harm an attribute instead of toughness. Yep. So what you should probably do is
a modifier.
Exactly. Yep. And if you pull up if you pull up your attributes, yeah, you just make it a modifier. That's going to be the best way to go. And you can feel the strength sapping from you as this thing stabs. The same happens to the Yoran monk behind you, who had been stabbed in much the same way. He is clinging to his staff and cowering, unsure what to do. It is now your turn.
So I am going to, kind of in the face of these monks, just start saying, like, we do not mean harm. We seek only to pay pilgrimage to the grave of Isho. And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna unleash the Golar staff, like throw the wrappings off.
Ah, yes.
And
Okay.
say, and we have been given leave by the caretaker of this grove and would not be stopped by you.
The speaker behind you hoarsely yells, "It's no use, Stone. They are purposeless. They exist only to reenact this battle over and over again. They will not listen to reason. We must run. We must go." Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn?
I suppose then I would like to I mean, what really sucks is that they're doing strength damage. Because I have Iron Fist, which lets me use my strength instead of my accurate. Sure. I guess. Do I still have time to make an attack?
Yes, you certainly do.
All right, then I would like to attack one of the monks in front of me with the Golar staff.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
I don't have a weapon.
It's just a quarterstaff.
Just a quarterstaff. Okay.
I probably should have added. I probably should have like made this item and added it to you, but I did not do that. Okay. Ooh, wait a second. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. This is what this is gonna be. Okay, so let's see. Stone, and here's our item, and it
Strength
should
increases your HP pool and stuff. Good. Oh, good.
So it is under rune staff in your equipment, but the weapon is just a quarter staff. Well, yeah, the weapon section is just a quarter staff.
Yep. I just equipped it.
You could rename it as rune staff just so that you know what it is. But in any case,
hey.
Okay.
Spirit damage.
3 damage total.
3 damage total.
Okay, so yeah, you swing through this monk spirit, and as the Golar staff connects with it, it disperses into a cloud of snow and mist immediately. All right, it is now the monk's turn. The monks are just going to run. The speaker screams, "Follow me! We must reach the grave. It is imperative."
That sounds good.
And they are going to make a quick check. Now, who has their lowest quick? Ooh, probably this guy. Yeah, he's at a 9. Okay, and the frostlights are at 13. How did that go?
Succeeded.
They succeed. Okay, so the monks rush through the assembled monks and the battlefield, dodging out of the way of spears and the exploding bursts of magic energy, bolts of all kinds, dodging, taking cover behind rocks, and making their way further and further into the mists until they disappear from your sight. You can no longer see them, obscured by the fog as they are. The frostlight in front of this monk does make an attack against that monk right there. Oh, and does succeed and deals 2 damage. Okay, so as the monks run, the Yora does take another stab, and you can feel that he starts. You can see that he starts to hobble, and he's moving much slower than the rest of them, trying desperately to take cover behind rocks and logs before also disappearing into the fog. You are left with 2 of them around you. And we are at the top. Oh, of course, that was the frostlight that was active. And it's just gonna go there, and it is their turn again. They both turn to you. I need 2 more defense checks.
Man, I'm gonna be hurting, Bruce. All right. Hey, look at that. Yeah, so I take another 3 strength damage.
Another 3 strength damage. What is your strong at right now?
After that, it is at 8.
It's a good thing that you are quite robust, Karovid.
I am a quite robust Karovid.
Your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna try to get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Quick is not my strongest suit, so
yes.
I was gonna look and see if there was a combat maneuver that I might be able
I
to
believe that there is probably a combat maneuver that you probably want to be using right now.
Okay. That. I'm not really seeing one that makes me happy. I suppose I could full defense because it just says that I have to not make any attacks.
Yes.
Yeah, I will full defense.
Okay.
And then I'm going to run. I'm just going to start running.
So you are taking 2 free attacks as you start to run, but having staked everything on defense, you get a second chance to avoid them. So
okay, so I will make 4. So I'll make 2 and then 2.
2, and then if you fail either of them, you can roll again.
Yep. So I failed that one. I failed it again anyway. So yippee. And I failed that one. And I failed it again. So I failed both. Naturally, despite the fact that I put on full defense. I failed both. So I'm at 2 strength.
These spears suck the energy from you. You run towards the monks into the fog. You can hear their screams and shouts as they are assailed from all sides. And you do get to them. You are heavily wounded. You can feel the strength sapped from your body. Another attack like that, and you are going to be dead. Your life force having been sucked entirely from you.
I'm also really happy that I can only go down to 10 hit points.
Yes.
Because I'd be at 2 hit points otherwise.
Yes.
Oh, yikes. Yikes
looking ahead, there is still battle raging around you. However, you have the option of running further into the wood. Off to your left, there is a ravine that's sort of at the base of the mountains. You could try and take refuge there, or go further off to your right, where there is a creek that leads back to the monastery. You could also take it farther into the woods and then just follow the stream. You remember that the first time that you made this trip, you did follow the stream into the pool where you found Isho. Up to you which direction you want to go. But as you make that decision and think about it, you hear a voice on the wind. It cackles at you. Desperation, fear, powerful motivators, but nothing without purpose. Where will you go? Where will you go? Deeper and find your god, or flee back to the safety and meaningless of the monastery? Where will you go? What will you do?
Freaking spider demon thing is in here still, isn't it?
You did not meet the demons, so you do not know.
No, I know. So there's no indication of where the monks went.
No, the monks are with you now. You were able to catch up with them. Yes.
Then I think we're gonna head for. So there was the ravine going straight through the forest, or going into the creek.
Yes.
And we used the creek the first time.
Yes.
We are gonna use the creek again.
Okay. So you rush down to the creek bed. Now that it is spring and the snow is beginning to melt, it is very muddy down here. But you are, for the moment, outside of the battle. You don't. You see some more spirits off to your left, up the hill, but none down here. And for the moment, you are safe. You assessing the monks, you see that they had taken several hits as well, and none of them are doing particularly well. Now, are you Does your song regenerate abilities? No.
No, it's only HP. Unfortunately, I could give us a +1 with Tiberial, but that's it. That's all I can do to heal attribute damage.
Got it. Okay. Give me just a second. I need to check the rules. Now, is that just how that particular spell works?
Which one?
Or do you like not have it? Do you not have it up high enough?
What do you mean?
I guess my question is, how does this damage get healed?
Well, Patrick, I don't think it does, to be honest with you. Um, let's look at Song of the Hearth. Song of the Hearth, yeah,
Okay.
it heals.
Alternative damage
Oh,
heals and can be healed just like ordinary damage.
oh, okay, so I can use
Yes.
Song of the
You
Hearth.
can use Song of the Hearth if you wish to.
I'd have to use it 4 times.
What how much does it heal? Does Song of the Hearth heal?
1d6. 1d6, and I'm already at 4 permanent corruption. So every time I use it, I have a chance. In fact, the more times I use it, the closer I get to my threshold. So this was maybe a questionable choice. If I had known that they were going to do strength damage, I don't know if I would have brought these people with me. And in fact, I probably wouldn't have come into the Vale. Because there is not much I can do about that right now.
Is everyone okay? Stone, are you injured?
I am indeed grievously injured.
Do you know Amoran's Song of the Hearth?
I do.
It has been some time, but if you lead me in it, I should be able to assist you.
Then let us do it.
Okay. So any use of he also does have Amaran's Song of the Hearth. So
nice.
if you use it, he'll use it as well, and then you'll heal 2d6.
It doesn't really solve the corruption issue, but
No.
I guess that's just what we have to do. All right. So, do you want me to roll for corruption first, or what do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 1. I will take it. So I would have lost all of my temporary corruption because
Correct. Yes. Yep.
So I'm at 1 temporary and 4 permanent.
Okay. So 5 total. And what's your corruption threshold?
Thankfully, it's an 8 because I increased my resolute.
Okay.
Okay. 2d6. Heal 7. So instead of being at strong 2, I am going to be at strong 9, which still isn't great, but is better than 2.
Excellent.
I'm wondering about the monks now. How bad off are they? Are we like at a point where we can't, like, they can't walk, or like? I'm wondering if 9 strength is enough to carry one of them if I need to.
As a Corrovid, 9 strength would be enough to carry one of them. They seem to be. Look, I'm not going to tell you that they're doing great.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that they can still walk, and they are still. Rather, 2 of them are intent upon going forward. The Speaker and the Yora have steadied themselves, and the young one is. His eyes are wide, he is breathing heavily, and he is doing everything that he can to keep himself calm right now.
Okay. I am going to ask the young one, would you like me to carry you? Are you certain? Then trust in the path.
We must continue on. How much farther until we are at the grave?
How much further till we're at the grave, Pat?
It is difficult for you to say. You've only made this journey one time before.
And it was a shitty time that time too.
It was a shitty time that time too. It's gonna be another few hours of walking through these woods.
I will not lie to you and say we are close, but if you are still set upon this path, we must continue onwards regardless.
Well, we are safe.
Wait, also, is the young monk talking?
No, the young monk is not talking.
Okay, all right. I was like, ooh. Speaking about heresy, all right.
You take a few moments to catch your breath, and you hear that chilling voice again. Isn't this exciting? Going further and further in. And you turn, and sitting next to the bank of the river is a creature, who is vague and insubstantial, but black with long arms that are like twice the length of its body that end in like huge grasping claws, and its face is twisted into this like wicked Cheshire cat style grin, with huge fangs, and its eyes are this like kind of semi-bloody red. Other than that, it has like an impish appearance, I guess I would say. Certainly nothing you have ever seen before.
Well, Stone will level the Golar staff at this thing and just say, "And what would you care, spirit?"
Well, I'm just here for the fun.
Indeed. I'm just gonna stare at it.
Just stare at it. Are you just going to sit there? Are you going to go farther in or out? You mortals are so curious, so intent upon truth, so intent upon purpose. It is quite cute, actually.
Currently, my purpose is split between continuing on our journey or destroying you utterly. What should I choose? What should I use to give my life purpose in this moment? Your destruction or moving along on my current task? A difficult one, to be sure, especially since you continue to give me reason to decide on the former rather than the latter. But I can see that this is all just fun for you, so perhaps the choice is already made. Perhaps the best choice I can make here is to continue on my way. Enjoy yourself. And I will turn away and keep walking.
Excellent.
Stone is not brooking any bullshit right now, all right?
Have fun. I will be here waiting for when
I'm
you
sure
die.
you will. Oh, indeed. Perhaps we will laugh together then, spirit. Stone's pissed.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. And the spirit does not follow you, but you can hear its laughs echoing in the wood behind, as you march further and further in. The monks seem very unsettled by the presence of this spirit, and the speaker asks you, "Stone, what was that thing?"
I do not know. Perhaps, like the others, it is simply here to live out its last actions endlessly. in which case I pity the poor creature. It laughs at us for having no purpose, but has no purpose of its own, instead laughing at those it sees as lesser. Well, in our case, we do have a purpose, and we must continue on that purpose. And he looks very intently at the monk, if you are still committed yourself.
Of course, yes.
Then let us continue, and do not let the laughter of spirits drag on our hearts, or our footsteps.
Yes. Yes. Okay, we will continue on.
Tom's pissed.
And yeah, you continue to follow the river towards Isho's grave. Now, you did not lead this expedition last time. Dorian
No, I
was
sure
the
did
one
not.
who navigated through the woods. And as you get farther in,
Although
you
was I not carrying Dorian that whole time? I don't remember if I was or not.
I don't remember if you were or not.
I don't remember.
In any
Regardless.
case, you begin to get turned around as you follow this stream. The woods, you recall, were labyrinthine and seem to lead you in one direction and another, and none of those directions in the way that you would like to be going. Could I get your choice of a vigilant or a cunning check?
Pretty easy choice. It's going to be a vigilant check. I succeed.
Yes. Okay. Using your memory and the landmarks that you recall, you're able to navigate your way through the wood. And after a few hours, you are certain that you are getting close, but the other monks are getting wearier and wearier. Several times you are forced to circumnavigate an area that has become impassable either because of snow or a river that is flooded with water, and it's taking you much longer than it had the first time. The Yoran monk puts his hand on your shoulder. You can see that he is weak and shaking, and he motions that he would like to sit and have a break. However, looking around the forest, you see more of those vague shapes off in the mist, and you can hear strange sounds, shriekings, and howlings around every corner.
Mm-hmm. Stone. Oh, please.
I think that we need to take a break, just for a few moments, the speaker says.
I do not think we have any moment to rest.
Are we close?
I cannot say how close or far we are. This veil is strange, as I'm sure you've observed. But there is something that I can do to assist us. And I'm going to start to sing the Song of Tiberial.
Oh, okay.
So I will make another corruption. Oops.
Well, you're just sending it today.
I don't have a whole lot left. So I am now at... no, so I got 2 more. God dang. Thing is annoying. So I'm at 7 corruption. My threshold is 8.
Okay, so another one is you are going to hit corruption if you do this.
I will ping my threshold regardless of what I do next.
Okay.
Yes. But I will sing the Song of Tiberial to try to give them strength, to give them, resolution. Whatever it is that they need to continue on without resting, I'm going to do that.
Very good. Yes. So you start singing the Song of Tiberial. Your deep, strong, corroded lungs fill the air with the sound of this song, and it reverberates and echoes through the trees. And the forms that you saw in the mist begin to converge on you.
Mm-hmm.
Stone, they are coming. We must hurry. We must hurry to the grave. Quickly now.
Absolutely.
And
That's kind of what I figured, but
of the spirits are converging around you, and a burst of magic explodes on the trees, on one of the tree trunks next to you. I need you to make a quick check.
oh no.
Rather, what is your quick?
My quick is actually 10. It's not terrible.
Okay, great. Yeah,
I'm just
so
big.
you're gonna make this at -2 because you are to represent the monks they're slowing you down just a little.
I can just make a defense check then. Because I'm robust, I get a -2 to my defense. So I'll just make a quick check or a defense check. Hey, I succeed! Wow. What
Okay. Yes. All right. So you are running through the woods. You're through the muck. The monks are being slowed behind you by the deep mud. But you're able to pick one of them up and continue on. And more of these spirits are converging around you. However, as more of them appear, they lock in combat with one another, forgetting you for a moment and allowing you to rush up through the trees, and you emerge into a glade. Let me go back and actually we can I can refresh myself on the on what this place looks like. Amidst the rotting trees and dead wood, ringed in a circle of stone, is an inky black pool. Tendrils of tenebrous black spill out from it like the tentacles of some shadowy sea creature. Even from here, you can feel the weight of it pressing against your mind. The wood around you lies in perfect stillness, an unnatural silence. And now that Venice has departed, Venice is not here. You find it difficult to breathe, as if the air is thin and weightless. You feel yourself drawn towards the pool. Something white and round, like a rock or leaf, gently floats upon the pool's surface, and as it turns towards you in the black liquid, you realize that it is an eye. The monks are filled with awe upon seeing this, the grave of the god. They seem drawn towards the pool, and they walk towards it, dropping to their knees as they reach it. And this is not the appropriate music.
I haven't been hearing any music. I actually just realized that. Didn't even put that together. Been very wrapped up in the atmosphere without it.
Excellent. I don't know what to tell you about that one, but
Okay. I'm happy without it. I'm having a great time. I don't need it.
perfect. Okay, so they drop to their knees in prostration before the pool. Unfortunately, for you, as that weight presses against you, as the air gets thin, you recall that this is a place of a lot of corruption. I need you to make a vigilant check at -2.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I'm sorry, not vigilant, resolute.
Resolute. Okay. Resolute at -2. You want to make me a monster, Patrick? Is that what you want?
You're working on it.
I sure am. I fail. I would have succeeded if I didn't have a minus.
You take 3 corruption
Mm.
from the wood around you.
I
That
am at 10, so I'm over my threshold.
you're over your threshold. That means that you take 1d4 permanent corruption.
Sure does.
You take 1 additional permanent corruption. You can feel it leaching in. In fact, one of the tendrils that spills out from the pool sort of wraps its way around your leg. You don't notice it until you look down. You can feel it crawling up your leg and your spine. And this patch on your forearm, where the eyes had appeared, begins to itch. And as you look down, the eyes are like crawling their way up your arm. Yikes.
Yikes.
The monks are quivering as they lay prostrate in front of the pool. You can hear the monks, the lead monk in particular, whispering, rather the speaker, but you can't quite make out what it is that he is saying. A single word sort of pierces the unnatural quiet of this glade. Please. Please, he says. Okay, where are we at? The speaker sits up for a moment. What is Stone doing? I should ask, while they are sitting in prayer.
Stone is just standing by, basically. He is, again, sort of like ruminating upon, like, why is there so much corruption around the grave of Isho? What does that mean? Why is that the case? Why? What possible reason could there be?
You look out, glancing behind your shoulder just a moment, to see that the spirits have not followed you here, although they are lurking in the fog, milling around. Some of them still locked in combat, but far away. I don't understand, says the speaker. I thought that there would be more. This is something. This is not the grave of a god. This is not befitting Isho.
And
They're
why
not.
do you feel that way? What
You
right
looked-
have you to decide what the grave of a god looks like? This is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. It is neither more.
Muddy pool.
It is neither more or less than what you hoped for. It is what it is. We do not ask where we die. We do not ask where we are buried. It simply is, and simply will be. And here we are. There is, I gotta tell you right now, there's a little bit of a radical change happening inside of Stone right now.
Interesting.
I kind of want to see how this plays out, but I have a pretty dramatic character change that could come about because of this.
Okay.
Like a very dramatic character change.
Speaker furrows his brow. Still, Isho is quiet, even here. I thought that coming here I would be in stilled with something, and yet I am still empty, uncertain of everything. He sighs. Oh dear, did your precious god not come to ease your existential dread? Oh dear, whatever will you do without him? He was your everything, your reason, and now he's gone, leaving you with nothing. A smile, grisly and red, appears from the darkness behind the black pool filled with dead eyes. That's your problem. You think that there's a reason for everything, a reason to be, a reason for you to be, a purpose, but not even the Aoka have such a thing. It doesn't exist. It's really quite absurd when you think about it. All you mortals killing one another for one god or another, committing the most heinous acts in pursuit of empty goals, for meaningless ideals and gods who cannot even themselves understand the world, much less explain it to your tiny souls. You should learn to just simply enjoy the ride. I have. I'm going to enjoy the ride quite thoroughly. And that same demon crawls out of the wood above the pool, perched on a log. It smiles at you. The three monks in front of you, weak and somewhat crestfallen, stare in horror at this thing.
Okay. Well,
What?
Pat, I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah?
I'm pretty much committed on the path that I have decided.
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to like it.
Hey, man. I'm just here for the ride.
I'm pretty fucking committed to this now.
Okay. You are actually behind these things, and they are here. Can you see what's going on here?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. And the demon is up here, perched on the log. Can you see that?
Give me a moment.
Vaguely, it should be up here.
Yeah, yep, I can see it.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Well, so here's where I gotta ask you a question. Before we start combat, and I'm picking these words very deliberately. Before our next combat, can Stone have a villain monologue?
Sure. Do you need a moment to collect your thoughts on it?
I would like a quick moment to collect. I have pretty much exactly what I want. You know, maybe I don't. Maybe this is going to be better streaming.
I need to take a 5-minute break at some point here, and Ava's freaking out. So I actually think now is a good time. So yeah, the creature is perched and ready to leap, and we will come back in just a second. All right, so Stone, you are in Isho's grave with the monks. A cackling black demon with red eyes and a wicked grin is sitting above the pool to Isho's grave, mocking you and the monks for not embracing absurdity and not understanding the world as it truly is. And he has just said that you should learn to enjoy the ride. I have, and I'm going to enjoy it quite thoroughly, he says as he licks his lips. What would you like to do?
Stone is going to level the Golar staff at the demon and is going to say, "You say to find enjoyment in the lack of purpose that we supposedly experience as mortals. And I say to you, we have found our way here through trial and tribulation, and our purpose is clear. My purpose is clear." And he's going to rush.
Excellent. Okay, so let's add everyone to the combat here. We've got the demon, we've got Stone, and we've got the monks, and roll for everyone. Okay, and the demon is going to go first. All right, let me pull up his stats here real quick. So the demon is going to leap forward how far away is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just enough.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have I been maintaining the Song of Tiberius? I suppose I haven't. Never mind. Not a useful question. Continue.
Yeah, okay. So he is going to leap down over the pool where Isho's body now rests, and rushes up with blistering speed to the silent monk that is prostrate on the ground right here, and snatch him up into his arms. You can see that as he does so, he sort of like becomes more corporeal, sort of becomes more less vague and shadowy. His long arms wrap around this monk, and a huge tongue, like a 3-foot-long tongue, wraps out and wraps around and starts licking up, and it like goes down this monk's throat. You can hear a horrendous slurping sound as it starts draining this the life force of this monk. Stone, it is your turn.
I don't love that. I don't love that at all. Not even a little bit do I love that. That sucks. I'm gonna charge this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're gonna use the charge maneuver?
I certainly am.
Excellent. Okay.
So I charge him, so I get to move up to him. So technically I get to make 2 moves, but I think I'm only going to need 1 here,
yep,
right?
Yep.
Then I get to make an attack action. If it fails, he gets to make a free attack against me.
Yes.
All right, let's give it a shot. So he is more corporeal?
Yes.
Or is he still a spirit?
He is more corporeal right now.
Interesting. Well, unfortunately, the only other weapon that I have is my bow. So I think I'm still just going to hit him with the staff. I mean, it's still a quarterstaff. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's fine. So I will make an attack roll. Yep. Well, I fail it. So Stone, like, kind of full of revulsion for what is happening in front of him, and a little bit off center. Based on the actions that the demon takes, like, just starts running towards the monk and makes kind of a wild sweep with the staff. And I'm assuming the demon either dodges or just
So what the demon does is he drops the monk to the ground, who collapses, and you can see that this old Yora is struggling for life. Barely able to move, but to dodge your attack, he drops this thing to the ground, and he steps backward, and he kind of rises to his full height with his claws out, and you can see he begins fading once again into mist. However, he will not be able to do that until the beginning of his next turn. At this point, the speaker is terrified. Oh, wait, no, I can do this. The speaker is terrified. However, he feebly begins singing a song. You can see that his resolution is not there. However, and his words are faltering and cracking. He cannot get the song out. And the youth picks up his quarterstaff and runs at the creature, swinging. Oh, come on, where's his quarterstaff?
That poor boy.
Okay. Did he get it?
Nope.
And he swings in the air at this creature. And the creature smiles and cackles at him as he steps nimbly to the side. Okay, and we are now back at the top. The Camus is going to fade into ethereality and dive towards you, claws extended, raking at your face. Make your defense check.
You got it. I make a defense, and I fail it.
Okay.
But with 3 soak.
Got it.
I don't know if that's going to apply here because he's doing ghost damage.
Yeah. So he deals with his claws 4 damage to your resolute.
Oh God! Oh no!
As he latches onto your face with his ghostly claws and begins sucking and slurping at your face, you can feel the resolve just leave your body. You become overcome with ennui and wait a second. No, did you at the very beginning of this combat, you very clearly stated your purpose?
Yeah.
He goes to suck at you to pull your to pull that despair and feed on your life force, and is unable to do so. He grabbing at you. What? And he throws you backwards and leaps back towards the pool. What is this?
Thank goodness.
Okay, it is your turn.
That was going to be real bad because reducing my resolute reduces my threshold.
Reduces your threshold.
Yeah, I would have been 1 point away from being an abomination status. So there we go. All right, so he leaps off me.
Yes.
I am. Let me look at and see if there's anything useful here. Okay. I am going to full offense.
Okay, yeah.
So that's 2 times to pass every attack, but also 2 times to fail every defense for my next turn.
Yes.
So I am going to make an attack at him with the rune staff. So I get to do it twice. Does that mean I have advantage? No, that doesn't mean I have advantage in this game, right? That's something different.
It does not mean that you have advantage. You get a second chance to pass all melee attacks. So you're doing your regular melee attack, and I'm assuming your corroded second hand attack.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Yep. So all right. So I failed my first try at the
But you get a second chance to, and you do succeed
that time. Yep. Only do 1 damage, but hey, damage is damage.
Aren't you robust? Don't you get an additional?
I am, and it said that it was gonna add that in, but it didn't. So I'll roll a d4. Yeah, it said that it was gonna add in my robust, so that was kind of weird. So I do 4 damage with the staff.
Okay.
And then I am going to make a fist attack using my extra limbs. Now let me double check here. So I get a -1 to defense by attacking with my fist too, but I think that is totally worth it in this case. I don't have
because the staff is like a two-ended. I'm happy with this being like a spinning attack with your extra.
Okay.
but it still only deals the extra D4 damage.
Sure. What I'm thinking then is let me make the attacks, and if I hit, I'll just roll it.
Then you'll just roll a D4 for damage. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Is it a D4 plus 1 D4 for being robust? Or
You
can
only get the robust for one attack per turn.
Okay. Then yeah. Then we'll just do it this way. So I do succeed on the next one. So I will roll a D4. So I just Stone, again, kind of just walking up to this thing with all four of his arms, is spinning this Golar staff around, thwacks him in the face for 4 damage with the first hit, and then spins it back around and hits him again with the other end for another 2 damage. But that does mean that now my defense is reduced by 1.
Okay. The demon backing up, fear in its eyes, swipes twice at you. However, with the staff, you are easily able to knock both of the attacks aside as you drive it backwards into the pool. Seeing that its attacks have no effect, it snarls at you and turns to flee. You do get to make a free attack against it as it does so.
Okay. Sounds good. I will do that with the staff again. I do succeed. I will add my... Well, do I get to add my robust to free attacks? I don't remember.
You sure do. It's once per turn, I believe.
Okay, and now it's his turn.
It's his turn, yep.
So I deal 6 damage with the Golar staff.
How do you want to do this?
Wow, all right. So basically, Stone came in, twirling the Golar staff around, thwacks this thing in the side of the head, thwacks it with the other end during the previous attack. This thing, kind of being shocked by not being able to harm me and also by being just battered around by him, starts to run away, and Stone just looks at him and says, "I think I have found your purpose as well," and stabs the Golar staff straight through this thing's chest as it tries to flee.
This creature screams a piercing wail that rises up from its chest and rakes at your eardrums as it evaporates into a black mist, and tentacles come up from the pool and grab the creature as it's dying and pull it down into the murky pool below you. As the scream of this thing dissipates and echoes into the wood, you just see bubbles emerge at the surface of the pool where it has fallen.
As that kind of subsides, Stone is gonna kind of just set the Golar staff down, kind of near his side. He's gonna turn to the rest of the monks that are still standing there, and is just gonna say to them, "Even in death, Isho protects."
The monks are looking at you in awe. The speaker bows his head and says, "Truly you are chosen by Isho." The youngest monk drops down to his knees where the old monk, the old Yora, is lying dead next to the pool of Isho. You can hear him sobbing. It is okay, lad, says the speaker. This is where he would have wanted to go. The young monk nods, wipes the tears away from his cheek. Stone, do you think that we could have him join Isho in the pool?
think that there would be no greater honor for him.
Okay.
So Stone will bundle up this old monk in two of his arms and will approach the pool and will kneel, kind of still holding the monk kind of outstretched in his arms, and sort of in like a, will bow his head in sort of a gesture of sort of supplication, and will just say, Isho, though you even in death might protect us, there are still those who would fall in your service. Those faithful among us. Myself, your monks, your adherents across the plain. We will continue to follow you, even unto your death and unto ours. We ask only that you continue to guide us in your way, that you continue to give us strength from within ourselves, that you will continue to watch over us from wherever you now are. And he'll gently set the body of the monk down onto the surface of the water.
The young monk whispers a single word. Goodbye. As the body disappears beneath the black surface.
Once the monks... Oh, no, please
continue. They both turn to you. Having now stood, the speaker says, I think that we have found everything that we needed to here. Where would you have us go, chosen of Isho?
I will tell you now that I do not know ultimately where we must go or what we must do when we get there. All that I can tell you is that Isho has shown me the way, and that I will follow that way unto whatever end. I would ask that you, both of you, would accompany me on this path towards whatever end Isho has designed for us. He looks at the younger monk and says, you have broken your vow of silence. And let it be known now that silence will no longer serve us. We must sing the song of Isho. We must spread their word across the plain. We must ensure that all those still faithful know that it is time for us to rise up. It is time for us to continue Isho's good work, with or without them, because that is what Isho would want us to do.
I believe now, says the young monk, that it is my path to speak the word of Isho at your side. I will follow you to whatever end. And I too, says the speaker.
Let's go.
And together, you depart, walking off into the dark wood for horizons unknown. And that is where we will end for today.
Oh, That was awesome.
Okay, so
Wow. All right.
I think this is where I'm going to stop the recording.
Okay.
And we will see the rest of you YouTube people next week.